Having fights or arguments in relationships are inevitable, okay? However, there are some times when the argument, simply surge beyond the wildest thoughts possible of both couples involved, okay? Hurtful things get said, emotions run raw, and once loving partners are usually left with bitter taste in their mouth just because they couldn't guard their emotions. Indeed, how many fights should you have before breaking up? In this video, we hunt through that discussion, okay? My name is Sarkdad. This is my YouTube channel. So conflict is inevitable in a relationship. While, popular culture tells us that fighting harms relationship, whilst healthy arguments actually bring couples together. The key predictor of a divorce or a breakup is not what you guys argue about. It is how you argue. Okay, today's video starts off with three major things. Healthy ways to fight as a couple, that is number one. Real reason why couples fight, that is number two. And lastly, number three, practical ways to stop and prevent, fights in your relationship. It is an extensive video, so make sure you watch it to the end. Although arguments with your partner is normal, right? Fighting every day shouldn't be ignored. However, there are, ways to stop fighting and prevent relationship from completely breaking down. To avoid frequent fights, you need to fight well. Now, this takes time and commitment to get to the root of the problem. So don't run away from the conflict, but face it honestly and head on, okay? You can apologize or ask your partner what you can do to resolve the issue. Instead of being short and be responsive to what the other person has to say. Apart from that, if the argument, becomes too heated, step away from the situation to calm down, okay? Once you clear your head, you may be able to regain your, frame of mind to consider spending some time alone. So always fight face to face and not through digital means, as in the case of today. Texting may even pave way for fighting as it creates misunderstanding or, takes things out of the context. It is always easy for messages, voice, messages and etc. to be misconceived during texting, okay? The best way to have an argument as a couple is to face. And the way each partner has a unique advantage of looking into each other's eye, guarding the level of anger, and also being able to calm things down when it is getting out of hand. Let's swim a little deeper into the real conversation and the real reasons behind most couple fights. Okay. Now, instead of asking your partner why you are always arguing about ABC, you have to start looking deeper. What emotions and needs are behind the argument. Okay. True emotions and the needs of your relationship often lie beneath the surface and the rarely discussed issues. And note that frequent fights, may arise from the silliest of arguments, but research actually suggests that top issues people fight about include physical intimacy, free time, money, managing family from both ends, and lack of trust and compatibility issues can also fuel the fire of conflict. When it comes down to sex, one partner may want more than the other. So differences in sex drives, for example, can also cause a lot of problems in relationship. When it comes to money, couples may also fight, for instance, what to spend money on, what to save on, and what have you. Other reasons may also be jealousy, okay, hating each other's friends and managing household chores. Those are the things. It is relevant that you sit down with your partner and identify your issues, review all the arguments you have had in the last couple of days, and try to really identify the patterns behind the continuous fights. Now, start with a small agreement with your partner, like controlling your desire to the things you are so addictive to daily, or spending more time together by cutting down on social media. Nowadays, people can search through Facebook for the whole day, and through minor adjustments, compromise, and understanding, it is possible to heal the emotional wounds and rebuild love in any relationship. Now, there are a few things you need to ask yourself when you are trying to get to the bottom of why you are so much, into arguments. All right, I'll share them now. For instance, who usually initiate the fight? If the fights or arguments are, frequently initiated by one partner, there is a red flag right there. Okay, if someone is always wanting to turn everything into a fight, then there is a bigger issue at hand. Also ask yourself if the fights are getting resolved eventually, because if the fight or arguments end but they aren't really resolved, it's just a matter of time before you guys really begin to surge again. How are the fights happening, and are they becoming more hurtful? A way to look at your fights and see if you should Break up a little bit and observe the language being used. Okay, if the fight contain emotional abuse such as name calling, mocking, contempt, cruelty, it's a bad sign and often damages or ends relationship. It is okay to disagree and work through different emotions and opinions, but it should be done in a way that doesn't become toxic or demeaning. Let me tell you a couple of ways to stop and prevent fight in your relationship. If you and your partner fight all the time, arguing can start to feel inevitable. But it's important to remember that you can learn how to avoid arguments in your relationship. Let's again swim into this once more. Okay. Tip number one, give each other some space. While you need to, make a point to talk through issues, you don't have to, and you probably shouldn't discuss issues when emotions are high. Okay. When you are angry at each other, it is more likely that one or both of you guys will lash out or make hurtful, comments. It may seem like a small thing to do, but take some time and take a deep breath. Tackle the topic once you are calm. Okay, you are likely to avoid a heated argument and those irrational, hurtful things that you might, have wanted to say to your partner at that time. All right. Tip number two: don't worry about being right. There are no winners when it comes to arguments with your partner. Just because you may be on the right side of issue doesn't mean you win. Sometimes letting go of your desire to be right is necessary. If you want to learn how to stop fighting in a relationship, try to look at things from the perspective that you and your partner are a team. You both win if you're able to actually compromise. Okay, look at it from that angle. It really helps. Tip number three, try to become a better listener. Not only can, being an active listener help prevent fights, make it a point to really listen to what your partner is saying and show them that you've heard their concerns. Okay. If they tell you, about something really important to them, ask them questions. Be engaged and value what they are saying so that you can also learn more about how they actually feel. Okay, because lack of communication and not being able to, be an active listener in your relationship can cause insecurity in that relationship for both of you. Tip number four, be open about your feelings. It can be tough to be so vulnerable, okay, especially when the two of you are persistently fighting. When you have the now and again disagreement, which is totally normal, let them know how that makes you feel. Okay, instead of blaming your partner, you can express yourself with statements like "I feel," and before you continue with your statement. If you find out that your partner is persistently demisive of your feelings, don't fall as a victim to swindling. Don't let your partner blame you or outside circumstances for something they caused, or you find yourself with a one-sided relationship. Tip number five, pause before you speak. Okay, trust me, that is very necessary. It's common to say harsh and hurtful things in the heat of the moment, only to regret your words later when you are discussing a hot topic. Okay, let me give you a practical advice. Make a point to count up to five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, before you speak. Pressing the pause key can help you avoid hurtful comments that otherwise surge the argument into a really nasty fight. Okay. Tip number 6, build healthy communication skills. Poor communication can cause all kinds of issues and relationship, especially when you are at odds with your significant dear or sweetheart or partner. If you're able to learn how to communicate in a relationship in a healthy way, disagreements will become less. When you talk, make sure both of you are listening and actually feel heard. Okay. Tip number 7, show kindness. At this time, your partner's behavior may, feel quirky or unreasonable. One good tactic when you are learning how to, spot fighting in a relationship is to try putting yourself in other person's shoes and try to understand your partner's, viewpoint. So instead of becoming, protective, you just try to understand why they feel the way they do. There might be something there. You may want to ask your partner questions, for instance, so that you get a better grasp of where they are coming from. All right. That will mainly lead you guys to finding a common grounds. Okay. So the awaited question is, how many fights should you have before breaking up? While there is no standard formula for how often you should fight with your partner, there are definitely some signs to look out for that things in your relationship aren't going too well. If you are fighting every day or your fights are getting, worse, you should reflect on things like that. There are no real magical number, but there are red flags that you need to, look out for. Every couple fight, okay, This is just the truth. The thing is, not every couple fights a lot to the point where their relationship is unhealthy or, just not making them happy anymore. So be mindful of that. If you are fighting every day, or if your fights are alarming, make you feel bad about yourself, then you should definitely assess what's going on. There are differences between, fight and argument, okay? Just because you are fighting doesn't necessarily mean that you should break up. Maybe there's larger issue at hand that you both need to sort of, face head on. Okay, it can be hard to have those difficult decisions, but if you don't want to end things, then it is important that you do. Okay, if over time you are seeing fewer fights and there is more listening in the relationship, you are definitely on the right path. Okay, repeating the same argument means your relationship is gradually what, ditching. And arguing frequently about the same issues over time and over again for long period means that there's going to be no chance, and ultimately you guys are going to have to call it a quit or exit that relationship. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, share it with another couple, friends, family, and what have you who may need it on this very topic, okay? And please don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel as it helps with the algorithm. My name is Sarkdad. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Adios.